everyone. How are you doing? Cheers. My name is Shannon Gilmore. Oh, you always have to take a sip after you cheers. And this is piping hot. Can you guys see the steam coming off of this? I can see the steam. I took a little sip, so cheers. How you guys doing? Nice to see you. Welcome. Welcome to Positively Spiritual. My name is Shannon Gilmore, and I've got a really interesting, insightful video for you guys today. So you're gonna want to hear this one. You're gonna want to listen because I woke up this morning. Yeah, I woke up this morning feeling good. And even though life has its problems, I'm still good. I'm good. The problems are not changing me to suit the problems. My demeanor, I'm learning, is going to be the catalyst. The unchangeable I am, the unchangeable you are, when you step into who you are in this positivity, you are going to be the one to change your problems. And we're going to talk about that today because you're not broken. There is nothing wrong with you. Now, I want to explore the meaning of perfection today. What does that mean? I want to help you understand that you are not flawed. There's nothing that needs to be fixed. You are exactly who you need to be, and you are where you need to be. Hi, Diane. Nice to see you. Welcome. Come on in. So, you are perfect. All of you are perfect, just the way you are. Perfection is knowing who you are from the perspective of non-judgment. When you do not judge, you rid yourself of the duality within. That is perfection. See, we are not flawed. Narcissism seeks perfection. It idolizes it even and worships it, but it can never attain it. Narcissism can never attain perfection because what one persists, it exists. So if you excuse me, if you resist everything else but for perfection, you're always going to be running towards perfection, and perfection is going to elude you, and that resistance is going to persist in your life as you are going to always get anything but perfection. Hi, Anna. Nice to see you. Welcome, everyone. Hello. So we are not flawed. Narcissism seeks perfection and idolizes it and worships it. Excuse me, but never can narcissism attain perfection because narcissists try to offload their perceived imperfections onto other people in attempts to portray and embody perfection. Shannon and friends, I love that. Yes, Anna. Anna, it's nice to see you. Welcome. Welcome, Diane. Welcome, everyone. It's so nice to see you. We who have been traumatized by narcissists are scrutinized for our perceived imperfections within. Now, if this is confusing you, I'm going to break this down to you. I'm going to break this down for you. But we who have been traumatized by narcissists are scrutinized for our perceived imperfections within, when in reality, the narcissist, in their imperfect nature, reveals to us how perfect we actually are. Mic drop. Cheers. That is such a profound statement, and we're going to break that down in this video, because in the narcissist's imperfect nature, that eventually reveals to us how perfect we actually are. That is just Awesome. That's perfect insight right there. So we have a healthy balance of duality as we accept ourselves as being dual in nature. Okay. So God does not sugarcoat this. He tells us that the natural nature of mankind, of ourselves, of our beings is restless, is rebellious. And psychology has basically shown, for a lack of better word, psychology has basically regulated our rebellious nature and compartmentalized it and called it the ego. Okay. So there's nothing wrong with that, as labeling our restless nature, our rebellious nature as being part of the ego. That helps us to understand who we are. And that's the whole gist of scripture, of tapping into your divinity, is discovering who you are. Okay. So when we accept ourselves as God tells us we're dual in nature, we have the inclination or the desire to do good things and do bad things. Okay. When we understand this about ourselves, the key now is to walk in self-control within that dual nature, to do what we want according to God's more moral standings, and we stop doing what we want based on immoral standings. So we recognize that the egoic nature is rooted in the flesh, and we observe ourselves and gain a control over our thoughts, our feelings, and our actions that are serving the flesh. We judge them by saying, is this serving the flesh or is this serving the spirit? That's as far as judgment is concerned. That's as far as we're supposed to take judgment. This is called righteous judgment. Are my actions rooted in flesh? Are they rooted in fear? And are they causing chaos in my life or somebody else's life? Or are my actions and my thoughts and my feelings, are they creating peace in my life and in other people's lives? Is it rooted in love? Hi, Cynthia. Nice to see you. Welcome. Come on in. So the key is to work on self-control within that dual nature. Then we know perfection. We'll know exactly what perfection is. We become perfect, not in the way that we think perfect should be, but we become perfect according to God's standards of perfection. And we're going to dissect that later on in this video. So we become perfect or step into our being of perfection when we live in harmony within ourselves and with other people. See, narcissistic people, while it can be said that they are perfect for us, I'm saying that. I don't know if anybody else says that, but I'm going to say that. Yeah, don't clip this video off just yet. Don't click off yet. Okay? I'm going somewhere with this. I promise. I'm going somewhere. This is good stuff. You're going to have your aha moment. I promise you. I'm going to break this down. So, narcissistic people, it can be said that they are perfect for us because, and only because, they help us to see our own perceived flaws as they bring it out. And these flaws that we perceive are flaws, according to God, they're not flaws. Okay? If we are walking righteously, if we are not lying, not conspiring to hurt other people, if we're not, giving ourselves over to the seven deadly sins, we're good. I mean, even if we are, we're still good, but we just have work to do. What we do that is against God in our bodies is a way for us to learn and grow. But when the narcissist does things that are against God, it's not to discipline them, to help them be better. It's what they're doing is living in their choice. They're living the ways that they want to live. They like being antagonistic. They don't mind hurting other people. It pleases them to hurt other people. That's what makes them feel better. And when you can understand that the narcissist thinks and their brain is wired differently, their spirit is different than yours, then you can better accept who you are as a divine being. Okay, so narcissistic people can be said that they are perfect for us because they help us to see our own perceived flaws. Perception is reality. What you believe to be true is true for you. May not be true for everybody else. Because we believe in God, our belief doesn't make it true that God exists for the other people who don't believe in God. They believe that God doesn't exist, so that's true for them. Okay? So it's necessary for these perceived flaws in us, for us to perceive these flaws as flaws, so that we can seek out our own perfection. Now, does this make sense? If not, let's break it down. Hello, everyone. Nice to see you. Welcome. Come on in. In this video, I want to share with you a shortcut to your healing, a concept that once you see the spiritual nuance, you are going to shave years off your healing and step into your divine birthright of living your best life by seeing you for who you truly are. If you guys noticed, maybe you didn't, so let me just make this announcement. I made a little post. Yeah, it's a long read. It's a long read. And it comes with a picture of a little bug. And there's a life lesson in that actually came about after I did this write up for this video this morning. So I was sitting outside and a little bug came, and I just, because it's so small, it's naturally cute, and I looked at it and I'm just like, some of it, I could be creeped out by this, but I'm not going to allow myself to be creeped out. And then just from the non-judgmental perspective, I saw things so clearly and insight came, and I share that insight with you on a post. So it's very insightful, and it falls in line with this video about non-judging. Do not judge yourself. Now, breaking this down, I want to share with you the spiritual nuance that will take years off of your healing as you step into your divine birthright. So I hope that this video offers you the spiritual wisdom you need to induce your healing from narcissistic abuse and transforms you to allow you to transcend, rise above. Okay? You do not have to stay in pain. If you are in pain right now, this video's for you. Hi, Octo. Nice to see you. Welcome. Come on in, everyone. Now, for those of you who don't know me, as we are getting new subscriptions, new subscribers, thank you, everyone. We're getting new viewers, new watchers, new members to our family. So welcome. My name is Shannon Gilmore, and I invite you to sit with me for about an hour or so and listen to a truth that no one has ever told you. And I can prove it. Because this video channel exists to show you biblical proof, psychological proof, and scientific proof that you did nothing, nada, absolutely zero, nothing, negatory. You did nothing to deserve what happened to you. You are innocent, and you are not flawed, and there is nothing wrong with you. And if you need to hear it again, I will tell you again, this time with another perspective that may make sense to you. So please take the time, invest in some time with me right now, and just listen. See, the mind doesn't just accept what it hears. It needs proof. God tells us we need 2 or 3 witnesses to avoid accusation, right? So we take on the accusation of the narcissist because we already have one witness, ourselves. Are we a good judge of character? Obviously not, because we're judging ourselves. And so when the narcissist comes along and judges us and says exactly what the same things that we feel, we take that on as belief. That's how belief is formed in you, from a negative thought, which evokes a negative feeling, which that's your two witnesses. You've got one witness, the thoughts, which your feelings become the second witness, which your awareness becomes the third witness, which then forms a belief. So that belief is two words: be, live. Be, live. So you become the state of being of what you believe. You embody it. So in this video channel and its contents, let this be the proof that you need. Because I am here for you. I'm saying one thing. The videos that I teach are saying the same thing. God's word teaches the same thing. So you've got three witnesses. So you are able to give yourself permission to change your belief. I am your peer support mentor. I am here for you. And if you want to talk, you are welcome to set up an appointment with me. The link is in the description of this video. Or you have something pressing, your comments, questions, suggestions for this channel. What video content do you want to hear? What confusing thing about narcissism or about God do you need to know? You need to know the truth on. Well, send me your questions at shannongilmore@protonmail.com. So please listen to this video and let it be a witness to your heart. I offer this information to you in love with a driven purpose, to see that you become who you were meant to be for God and for yourself, not for the narcissist, but for yourself. You were meant to live in freedom, in His joy, and it is my honor and my pleasure to help you today, because I got to help you get there. Like, that's my purpose in life, to help you. You're my brother, you're my sister, I love you. So welcome to this channel, and thank you for watching and listening. So let's get into it. So the truth about perfection, how narcissist abuse reveals to you that you are not flawed. And this is the route to your healing. You're already healed. And how you're already healed is just to awaken to yourself. But let's start by facing a painful lie many of us have carried for too long. The belief that we are flawed, that something is broken in us, that we are somehow less. But what if I told you that you're not flawed? As I'm going to tell you this over and over and over again. Get used to hearing it, because that's how a belief is formed when it's on repeat. When something is put on repeat and repeat and repeat, you actually form new neuronal pathways in your brain to accept the information. And what you accept, what you think on, forms a feeling, and what your feeling accepts, or what you feel about that thought or about that concept, what you feel about yourself, you take as fact. So you're not flawed. Now, before your ego gets excited and say, wait a minute, Shannon, wait a minute. Don't let your ego scream, your shame scream in disbelief, because I'm going to clarify this. Perfection isn't about being flawless. Write that down. Perfection isn't about being flawless. It's about being in balance. And how? Well, like I said at the beginning of this video, even God tells us that we have a dual nature. We have an inclination or a desire to do good as much as we have a desire to do bad things. And that duality is unbalanced in your life. Maybe, maybe you don't act upon these things that you feel, but the negative thoughts are definitely more negative thoughts than positive thoughts, right? So there's an imbalance in your house. And God says a divided house can't stand. So that's why we're faltering. That's why we succumb to our feelings, because we're divided in our mind and our hearts. So it's about being in balance with your dual nature. without judgment. It's about walking in awareness, in self-control, and spiritual alignment. So when you become master of your emotion, you first have to become master of your thoughts. So you have to be aware in the moment of now. We teach you that on this channel. We teach you how to stay grounded in the moment of now. We teach you how to be aware of your thoughts and start thinking good thoughts. Now, this may be difficult because you're not used to it, but the fact that you have bad thoughts lets you know that you can think good thoughts, because that choice is never taken away from you. God doesn't take away your free will choice. The narcissist convinces us that God does, but no, God doesn't. The narcissist tries. And how they try to take away our free will choices by manipulating us and lying to us. God doesn't lie to us. So it's about bringing balance with your dual nature without judgment. It's about walking in your awareness of your good thoughts or positive or negative thoughts. It's about walking in self-control with those thoughts. So every time you are aware that you have a negative thought, rebuke it, cast it out. Lord, I don't want this thought. Replace my mind with good thoughts and work with God by allowing yourself to see something good. If you can't think about it in your memory, then look in your present. Look in the here and now. What is good? The smell of fresh bread baking in the oven, or maybe the smell of fresh cut grass outside. Maybe looking out the window and seeing that it's a beautiful sunshiny day. These things are good. So think on these things. Whatever is pure, whatever is worthy, whatever is noble, think on these things, right? That's scripture. So it's about being balanced. It's about walking in awareness, in self-control, and your spiritual alignment with who you are. Having good thoughts is what it means to walk in spiritual alignment with God, because God is entirely positivity. In him, there's no negative. He is light, there is no darkness. God is love, there is no darkness. So God is unconditional love, 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verses 4 through 8. So when you walk in alignment with your good thoughts, you're walking in alignment with God and the Godhead, actually, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. So the narcissist actually chases perfection like a mirage. They idolize it, they worship, they demand it, and project it, but they can never embody it. This life, we are to become a state of being. That's what live means. Believe, just because we change the sound of these two words together, it's live, not believe. Live. Okay, the E is silent. Okay, live. Live, because believe is just a state of being. Believe. Live. You are living the state of feeling. You're embodying that. So unconditional love is not just a feeling, it's a state of being. And when you are living your thoughts out in here, you are living them in here with your feeling, and your brain can't tell the difference between reality or fantasy, fact or fiction. So Jesus tells us that what you think about, if you're thinking about adultery with somebody in your mind, it's as if it's already been done. That's the state of living in spiritual nature. Your spiritual nature is the here and now, and what you think about, you bring about into the physical, and the physical has to catch up to the spirit, but you thought it's happened. So you're thinking about your bills not being paid and bad things happening. Yes, it's happened in the spirit, but you have the beauty of changing that around. And when you fixate on it, when you're like, oh no, and that deadline's coming, and oh no, nothing's been done, oh no, there's no solution, God, I need a miracle, oh no, yeah, something bad's gonna happen. Maybe not as bad as what you think, but still something bad might happen. However, when you're, oh no, something's going to happen because that bill is coming in and that deadline, but you change your thoughts and focus on Jesus because the bill payment or whatever's going on, maybe you're losing your house, maybe foreclosure, maybe you're losing your relationship, whatever it is. Sometimes bad things need to happen, and we're going to talk about that. But sometimes these bad things can happen that we can prevent just by our thoughts alone. When you think on good thoughts, bad thoughts can't get in. When you're thinking on good thoughts, you're in alignment with Jesus, who is good. So good begets good. I mean, look at the genealogy. You look at the genealogy of Esau's clan and Jacob's clan. Jacob's the good clan. Good begets good. And Esau is the bad leader of the clan. And, or excuse me, Esau is the bad leader of the clan. So he's evil, he begets evil. So like Jesus says, a good tree cannot bear bad fruit and a bad tree cannot bear good fruit. The narcissist chases perfection like a mirage. They idolize it, they worship it, they demand it and project it onto you. But they can never embody perfection. You can, you already are. Because what the narcissist resists persists in them. And the same thing, whatever you resist persists. So you're resisting yourself and you don't even know it. You're resisting God's goodness and you don't even know it by hanging on to, I'm flawed, I'm not worthy. And by believing in what the narcissist says or what other people say about you or what you think about what other people think about you, that forms a belief against God. God created you. You're perfect. You are perfect. Let that sink in. Because the narcissist, they fear their flaws so deeply that they deny them. And they see that you don't have flaws and they project their flaws onto you to make you bear the burden of their pain. They offload, deny their burdens, and offload onto us. And that's where the trauma begins. Because we are acting out of congruence. We are acting out of who we were meant to be. That's all pain is. That's all trauma is that you see life from a perspective that you were not supposed to see it from. As you're living life from a perspective you're not meant to live from. So that's the beauty of choice. You want your life to change, you change your thoughts. Nobody can change your life for you. You have to do it. Even listening to Tony Robbins, he can tell you what to do. I can tell you what to do. Other platforms can tell you what to do. We can hand you the master classes to you. You know, we can give it to you for free or behind a paywall. It doesn't matter. You have to do the work. You have to see. You have to see that you need help. You have to see that you need to heal and you have to want that healing. You have to go after it and take the steps to heal yourself. And we want God to change us. Well, we can't. We deny God helping us every time we hang on to a negative thought. So understand that when people offloaded their pain onto us, that's where trauma began. But it doesn't mean anything's wrong with us. It just means that we are seeing life from their perspective. And that's all what narcissists and people who are in trauma, the reason why they're trauma dumping on us is like, see, now you know how I feel. Now you know where I'm coming from. And we do, and we understand their pain. We understand we then do the work to see them for who they are and what they're doing. We learn all we can about the narcissistic personality disorder. But our knowledge doesn't heal them. They have to want it themselves. They have to heal themselves. So if they can't heal because they don't want to or they don't see it, the same thing might be happening to you, that you're not healing not because you can't heal, but because you don't want it or you don't yet see how to heal. So the twist is this, that you're not really traumatized. You're just choosing life. You're choosing to see life from a different perspective, from the perspective of pain. And once you see that seeing life from the perspective of pain causes pain, you then can make the shift. Seeing life from the perspective of love, unconditional love and peace, produces unconditional love and peace. So that's it. Change your thoughts, you change your life. It's that simple, but it's hard to implement. You've got to retrain your brain. In trying to break us, the narcissist, they actually revealed something divine in us. They revealed how whole we truly are. Because only someone in balance can withstand that level of distortion and still choose love, empathy, clarity, and spiritual awareness. This is actually who you are. So you're not flawed. You're not broken. You're just making a choice that you don't know that you're making. You're making an uninformed choice to live life from the perspective of pain. You're choosing life from the perspective of your ego, from the perspective of being judged by God Almighty. Now, if you change your thoughts and start walking in those thoughts every day, become mindful, you actually begin to change your perspective, change back to who God created you to be that loving, unconditional, empathetic person who walks in clarity and spiritual awareness. You then, when you walk from the perspective of unconditional love, after walking from the perspective of pain, when you start walking in unconditional love, you can then better lend unconditional love to those who are in pain because you've been there. Makes sense, right? Hey, Resistor, how you doing? Welcome, come on in. Hello, Marie, nice to see you. Welcome. Hi. Nice to see everyone here. Welcome, come on in. So let's understand this, that the narcissist revealed how whole we truly are, but you may not yet see it. But just think about thinking. Give this some thought, because only someone who is actually balanced can withstand the level of distortion and still choose love, empathy, clarity, and spiritual awareness, and that's you. So I want to walk through the 5 ways to stand above the false belief of your own flaws and ease into perfection that was always within us. Number 1, reframe the meaning of flaws. Perception is everything. Perception is reality. Write that down. And when you think about this, your flaws are only flaws when they are judged. So stop judging yourself, and you won't be judged anymore. Jesus says, do not judge, or else you'll be judged. And by the same measure that you use to judge someone else with, you will be judged by that same measure. So that's why that pain lingers and that pain hurts. Stop judging yourself. Stop judging the narcissist. Stop judging altogether, because we're going to learn that everything is for you. What you perceive as good and bad is not bad. It's not good. It's neutral, and you get to give life meaning. You get to give these events meaning by you deciding what is good or bad for you. Now, we're supposed to righteously judge and determine what is righteously moral, not morality based on what the world loves. No, we judge people and things based on moral judgment. That's as far as our judgment is concerned. But if we don't like doing something, we don't say, ew, that disgusts me. No, we just stay away from it. We just stay away from it. We don't participate in it. That's how we show that we don't like something. I'd prefer not to do that. You know, it's like most people don't like eating liver. And well, you have a choice of either eating liver or cow's tongue. Ooh. Well, you don't have to judge it. You can just say, you know what? I've tasted liver. No, thank you. I haven't tasted tongue, but no, thank you. And you just stay away from it. You don't have to go, that disgusts me. That's so gross. That's right. You know what? Some people like eating these meats, and that's okay. It works for them. We're not here to judge people. We're just here to understand what we like, what we don't like. And most of the time, what we don't like, we can also take that spiritually to a spiritual or righteous moral judgment. Does this make sense? So, to reframe the meaning of flaws is your number one go-to thing, because perception is everything. And when you think about it, your flaws are only flaws when you judge them. If you don't judge them, then when other people judge you, it's not going to hurt you. Because you can say, well, that's your opinion. And opinions are neither right or wrong. And you can even say that, you know what? You're entitled to your opinion. Opinions are neither right or wrong. So it's not our business to know what people think about us. So understand that sadness is not a flaw. It's evidence of feeling. Anger is not a flaw. It's a boundary screaming to be seen. Doubt is not a flaw. It's a call for deeper truth. Narcissistic abuse taught us to fear these parts of ourselves, to stop crying. You don't know what you're crying about. Stop crying or else I'll give you something to cry about. Our parents said that to us all the time. Get that look off your face or I'll smack it off for you. Well, look, I'm just in shock. I'm upset that my parents feel disappointed in me. What look am I giving? I can't see myself. You know, you feel like, well, show me your mirror so I know what I'm. Don't talk back to me. You're just grounded now. You're grounded to infinity because you talk back. You know, like you're darned if you do, darned if you don't. So narcissist abuse taught us to fear these feelings, these parts of ourselves that make us human. The narcissist taught us to abandon ourselves, to hide, to stifle their feelings. But if these very feelings are you, they're a part of your soul's compass. So we can't deny them anymore. And now that we're adults, we're working this out because our soul is saying, finally, you're grown up. You can see this. Help us out here, guys. Help us out here. Help us out. Help me help you by helping me. Get with the program. You know, like finally you're starting to see, you're starting to wake up. Our soul has been waiting for eternity to get us to get to this point. And our soul is so patient because our soul is divinity. Our soul is alignment with Jesus. So these feelings that you're feeling are your soul's compass. They're the way that your soul uses to express himself. So to stand above the narcissist is to stand above the pain by reframing this. Look at your life and the situation with objectivity from a bird's eye point of view. You know, when a bird is up in the air and they get to look down on things, that's what it means to be objective. Because when you're stuck in your fear, your sadness, and saying, oh, the narcissist is doing this, the narcissist has done this, and they're doing this, and it's been months or years since you've been in a relationship with that narcissist, it's time to step out in faith and move forward because you're becoming stagnant. So understand that your perceived flaw, the flaw that other people perceive what is flawed in you, this is actually your superpower in disguise because it's your soul. It's how your soul defines itself. It's how your soul expresses itself. Your soul, Jesus, gets to define him or express himself, and you get to see that and feel that. So you get to ask questions. Who taught me this was a flaw? Who taught me that it's not okay to cry? Who taught me that it's not okay to express my anger? And what happens if I treat my feelings as a gift to me instead? Your feelings are a way for you to self-express. It's just now in your self-expression, you've got to figure out how to manage and walk in self-control of that. So number 2, recognize duality without judgment. You were never meant to be one-sided. You are light and you are shadow. And many people in this self-awareness craze, this phase, they say you got to do away with your shadow. You got to kill the ego. No. There's yin and yang. There's the duality is in us. It has to be there because you can't see the light without it. You can't see the light without darkness. You can't see darkness without the light. So you take away one, you take away the other. You kill one, you kill them both. And God cannot be unalived. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. That's what science calls energy, God calls spirit. So you were never meant to be one-sided. You are both light and darkness. And just because you are light and darkness doesn't mean that darkness is evil. Jesus himself experienced sorrow, anger, peace, glory, and we are both and being both at the same time. And that's the point. When you understand your spiritual accentuation, when you understand your spirituality, you recognize that you are all and nothing at the same time. You are both heaven and hell. And you get to decide which one you want to live in. Narcissists bring hell. They live, just as God says, we're supposed to draw out heaven from our hearts. The kingdom of heaven is within us. Well, the kingdom of hell is in the hearts of the narcissists. They're opposite to us. So they bring us hell and they force us to live a life of hell that we never chose. But God turns it around so that we have a taste of hell so that we can make our election sure on this life. So that we don't choose for ourselves mistakenly hell in the next life. So perfection is living in harmony with your dual nature. That's what true perfection is. Not picking a side as how narcissists want you to choose. When you stop judging yourself, you release the war within. And when you stop judging others, you stop projecting. Judgment fuels shame. And shame keeps you imprisoned. So practice this. Next time you feel something unacceptable within you, pause and say, this is part of me and I choose to love it. Go read the post after this video. Go read the post that I posted because it's about choosing to love the little bug that I saw today. And, tell yourself, this is the part of me and I choose to love it. And repeat until love becomes your habit, not judgment. 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verses 4 through 8. This is the definition of unconditional love. Memorize it, embody it, practice it with yourself so that you can practice it with others and practice it with God. No more begging God and demanding, God, why are you doing this to me? Stop that. No more of that. That's not walking in unconditional love. You got to accept the good so you can accept the bad. You accept the bad so you can accept the good. You take the good, you take the bad, you take them both, and there you have the facts of life. The facts of life. Yeah, good show. So, number 3 is to see the narcissist as a mirror. Now, this is a tough one, but it's liberating. As we've talked about this before, when you see that the narcissist, are you guys listening? The narcissist is in your life to show you where you are ignoring and hurting yourself. Write that down, please. That in itself is liberating, because stop making this life about the narcissist. This is about you and your divine being. This is not about you serving the flesh. Why is the narcissist doing this to me? Why are they hurting me? Why are they're living their best life and my life sucks? Your life sucks because you're not in the right frame of mind. Your life sucks because you are choosing the negative over the positive. That's on you. Sorry, sugar. It's just the way it is. I've had to come to the realization with myself too. Nobody's rescuing me. Except for God, yes, but he's not rescuing me the way that I want. God's like, you got to help yourself, girl. You got to help me help you. You got to take the steps. Here's what you're doing wrong. And I'm here to correct you. Jesus is saying to me, I'm here to correct you, girl. So I'm sharing with you what God has shared with me. And God has never patted me on the head and said, oh, dear little baby girl. No. God's like, you're old enough, grow up, act your age, not your shoe size, and let's do this together. I'm not married to babies. I'm married to the sheep. I'm not married to little lambs. Little lambs are my children, but we are God's sheep. We are the bride of Christ. We are the ones to bring heaven down on earth. If it's not us, then who is it going to be? Certainly not the narcissist. So we got to get tough with ourselves a little bit. It's about tough love. It's about parenting ourselves. Our parents were still loving, but they got a little bit, curt with us, didn't they? They got a little bit saucy and sour with us and laid down the law. Yeah. The reason why laying down the law hurts with us, we're allowed to admonish each other. It's admonishment in love, saying, hey, guy, girl, get it together. Let's do this. Let's work together. We're a team. There's no I in team, and this team doesn't work when it's full of egos. So I need your help in this. We're all in a war, and we're here, facing our own battles. But in facing our own battles, we're helping each and every one of us to, succeed in this war. So yeah, we need each other. So use the narcissist as a mirror. See that they've been a mirror to you, that they have been showing you exactly the areas in your life where you have been ignoring and neglecting yourself. So it's time to wake up. The narcissist was perfect for your journey. They look flawed to you, but stop judging them, because what God says what the enemy tries to destroy, kill, and destroy you with, God turns it around and uses it for your own gain. So there's something better for you waiting on the other side of this pain. Because know this, that the frequency of the vibration, the ferocity of the pain that you're feeling is matched with the goodness and glory of God in blessings for you that are waiting for you on the other side of this pain. So you've got a huge amount of blessings waiting for you. So the narcissist, start thinking of them as being perfect for your journey, not because of what they did, but because what you saw in you. You wouldn't have been able to see the things in you that needed correction, that needed redirection, that needed alignment in God's divinity. You wouldn't have been able to see that unless you encountered the narcissist. Because as wonderful as our Bibles are, as wonderful as they are, they've been tampered with. And there's things omitting that are things that are omitted from this book that probably would teach us how to properly align ourselves and leave people alone. I mean, God tells us to expel the immoral brother, right? But this world has taught us, no, you got to be politically correct. You got to be friends with everybody. It's so rude. And, you have to just be friends with everybody. So it's not nice to, single people out and leave them alone and ignore them. So, hey Marie, that's so nice. Just listening to you makes me feel less alone. It's hard to feel good in chaos. It doesn't feel like anything adds up. Exactly. Honey, welcome. Welcome everybody. I'm going to get to your questions and comments after this video. So thank you so much. It's so nice to see, you guys, like I said, you guys are healing. You're going to heal on your own time. And if you don't get this video, it's okay. And just revisit it when you're willing or ready to hear it. That's all. This video channel exists for you to heal at your own pace, to go at a pace that's comfortable, because if all the information, it's here for you, but if you digested it all at once, and you understood it all at once, it would actually do harm to you. So you digest and you walk the road of your healing at your own pace, but healing is for you today. This video is to, admonish you and help uplift you and speak to your spirit man or spirit woman. So again, see the narcissist as a mirror. This is essential because the narcissist was perfect for your journey, not because of what they did, but because of what you saw in you. They mirrored back your unconscious fears, your hidden beliefs, your childhood wounds, yes, your mother issues. They tried to convince you that you were the flawed one. No one else but you. That's why this is all happening to you. Life happens for you, not to you. So all this pain is for your gain. But what the narcissist really revealed was your resilience and your true nature. And that you really did have a choice. You choose to follow Jesus. And when we say yes to Jesus, we're automatically implanted in this war that we don't see coming. So you never were flawed. We become flawed when we truly embrace our flaws and live life from only that perspective. See, life is a two-sided coin, good or bad. And that's unfortunately the narcissist where they live from. They live from the perspective of bad. But for you to live from the perspective of good, you have to first live from the perspective of bad, so you can make the choice to walk to the other side, and knowing from your experience of living in the bad allows you to adhere to unconditional love because you are so empathetic. Empathetic is who you are, not apathetic like the narcissist. You're empathetic as you empathize with all people, that they're just walking from the perspective of chaos and they don't know any different yet because their thinking is just wired right now from the perspective of thinking in negatives. But you hope in your love for them, you hope that, okay, eventually it's not going to be with me, but eventually maybe they'll see the other side. Maybe they'll start to think differently. Maybe they'll choose the light. So The narcissist, they were trying to break something inside of you that could not be broken, your divinity. And in that resistance, you found your strength. So they wanted to break you because they are broken. They're flawed because they operate just from one perspective. They don't walk in the truth. I mean, the lie for us has become their truth. That's what they live. But just how you think that they are capable of change. Okay, let me just say this again. Okay, so when you get with the narcissist and you realize that, hey, something's off, but you still hang on because you want to believe that they're capable of change. So that's what I want to share with you right now, because just as you think that the narcissist is capable of change and you love them because you changed, and because you changed, they perhaps are able to change. Well, yeah, you're hoping for their potential. Well, just as that is going on with you, the narcissist thinks the same way about you. They hang on because they think that they can change you. And the narcissist thinks that you can change because they did. Well, I changed my ways to live on the opposite of what you're living right now. So why can't you change? Somebody changed me, so I'm that somebody that can change you, is kind of where the narcissist is coming from. They're just as you're living in potentials for their good, they're living in potentials for your downfall. They believe that you can become like them. But objectivity helps you to release yourself of the guilt of living life from the perspective of being flawed and being on the other side, the hell realm. It's okay you didn't know what you didn't know, because that's natural. See, living in hell is to live in ignorance. But God gives us the truth so that we come into the know. We become knowing. And when you have the truth to help you know the situation from all perspectives, you can't go back. Now that if you understand the message in this video today, you can't go back. You just, you're going to start recognizing what is hell for you and what isn't. Hell is just chaos. That's all hell means. And hell is the eternal hellfire, because when you're rooted in this moment of now is eternal. Now has no concept of time. It just is. There's no past or future. It's just in the moment of now. So if somebody is bringing hell to you now, that's an eternal hellfire. And that's what you learn to believe based on the feelings that you have. So change your mind, you change your feelings. Change your mind and feelings, you change your life. It's not about what the narcissist did to you. It's about what has been revealed to you about yourself. So it's okay that you didn't know what you didn't know. You know now. So you can now ask, what did the relationship teach me about my value? What did it expose me in a way that, okay, let me say that again. What did it expose in me that was ready to be healed, that is ready to heal? Your triggering reveals something about yourself. You don't want to be controlled. You don't want to change. You are who you are. So who are you? And what is the narcissist trying to change you into? You have to be somebody to change into somebody else, right? So who were you? Who are you right now that the narcissist is trying to change, that you don't want to change from? See, you already know yourself. It's just that you think you don't know yourself, but you really do. You've just been ignoring yourself. And that's essentially what the narcissist is teaching you through what they're doing to you by ignoring you, everything. The gaslighting is ignoring you. The manipulation is ignoring you. The cheating is ignoring you. The stonewalling is ignoring you. The breadcrumbing is ignoring you. The text without saying your name is ignoring you. The controlling conversations and controlling the environment in the room is ignoring you. The causing chaos on birthdays and special days for you is ignoring you. So take a look at the ways that you are ignoring yourself, because everything the narcissist is doing to you is actually for you, helping you to see the ways that you are doing those exact same things to yourself. There comes a time when you have to stop blaming the narcissist, especially if they're not in your life anymore. You have to stop blaming them for moving on, doing what they're doing in their lives. It doesn't matter if you think that they're doing things to you. No, you're not that special in their lives. Let me say that again. You are not that special in their lives, that they're sitting there with their significant other or their hoity-toity job and sitting there at the computer typing and saying, yeah, I'm with this client right now and my commission is a $10,000 commission. I just made $10,000 today, and boy, I'm going to stick it to Anthony. Boy, he's a freaking narcissist, and no. And how dare they accuse me that I'm the narcissist? Well, I'm going to stick it to them, and I'm going to, they're going to see on my social media page, my Facebook, how I just made $10,000. And I'm right now, I'm planning my vacation, and I'm going to plaster it all over Facebook just to stick it to them. Yeah. No, that's not, no. And the narcissist does not think highly of you. They dehumanize you. They think of you as not human. Understand that. The narcissist is dehumanized themselves. So it takes a dehumanized individual to dehumanize another individual. You humanize the dehumanized individual when you hang on to the narcissist and still think of their potential. Are they loving me? They're incapable of love. They have no empathy. They're incapable of love. They are indifferent. Do your own research. Look up the definition of apathy and indifference and dehumanization. It was people like Stalin and Mao Zedong and who is the other one? Many differently. I'm thinking of it was just on the tip of my tongue, the Italian dictator. It's on the tip of my tongue and it wants to leave. But these people, these dictators, they dehumanized their people. What do you think happened during COVID? The news media, they dehumanized the population, and many people fell for it. This was the Great Awakening, where we got to see the world as being narcissistic. So the world is narcissistic because it was created by narcissists. So understand what dehumanization means, understand what indifference means, and understand what apathy means. Because you may know it, but your brain needs to see it. Your brain needs to read it. Your brain needs to comprehend it. This isn't treating yourself like a grade oneer. I'm an adult now, I should know everything. No, that's arrogant speak. You've got to reteach yourself things, and it's okay to be taught. There is nothing wrong with learning. Learning is actually an exercise in intelligence. Learning is intelligent behavior. It's the narcissist that says, "Oh, I'm beyond learning. I'm above all that." Well, that's a sign of low IQ. Yeah. So, another way out is step 4, to step into innocence, not naivety. True innocence is not ignorance, it's clarity, it's wisdom without judgment, it is shrewdness without hardness. You're not naive for loving, okay? Loving people is not a flaw. And I'm going to say this, but psychology wants to tell us that codependence is our flaw. No. Look up 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verses 4 through 8. That's unconditional love. Relationships are naturally codependent. And, psychology would have a problem with the definition of unconditional love. Oh, yeah. But guess what? The psychologists would demand it of their kids and of their spouses and of their family, their mom and dads. They would demand unconditional love. So unconditional love is not wrong. It's our birthright. And to exercise it, it may look by psychology standards from the DSM-5. That's the Diagnostical and Statistical Manual of Psychology, version 5. By what they determine as being love and good, healthy relationships, this would be overly codependent according to them. But I'm not God first. I'm not going to put their definition above what God wants for us. Unconditional love is forgiving. It is trusting. It always hopes. It does always persevere. So you hoping in their potential is not wrong. You were tapping into unconditional love unknowingly and giving your love, unconditional love, to somebody who was incapable of receiving it. So this was your innocence. This has not changed. Unconditional love takes you back to innocence, the age of innocence. But now that you've been on the other side, now that you've lived in narcissistic trauma, now that you've had a taste of what it's like to live in hell, you're shrewd. You're not vulnerable to other people's machinations. You're not vulnerable to pain and hurt. Now, God gives us wisdom through experience. When you stop judging yourself for falling for it, oh, gee, I fell for another narcissist. Oh my gosh, how can I be so stupid? No. When you stop judging yourself and start taking it as, well, I guess I still needed to learn something about myself. You're going to go through these relationships until you stop needing to learn, until you start seeing yourself and start working on yourself instead of allowing other people to reveal to you what you need to see. You go on a self-vision quest of yourself with God, and God takes you through the dark night of the soul. Though I walk through the valley of shadow of death, thou art with me. God takes you through it, and he reveals to you what you need to learn about yourself. So start asking God, what do you see in me that needs to change? He'll lead you to the scripture, or he'll tell you with, the thoughts that he gives you. When you stop judging yourself, you stop beating yourself up, you stop punishing yourself, and then you just are allowed to, you give yourself permission to stand in God's grace. Because God is not punishing us. God is not judging us. That's what the cross of Christ was for. The ego cannot see the cross of Christ. So if you're walking in ego, you won't be able to discern or see the cross of Christ and believe in it and live in it and take yourself, let yourself off the hook, because it's like, okay, God died on the cross for my sins, so I don't need to think negatively. I don't need to feel negative. I don't need to live the negative life. You get to step out of the ego, Step out of that meat suit of the ego, step into your divinity and say, yeah, I am free now in Jesus Christ. I do believe in the cross. I am resurrected with him. And Jesus died so that I don't have to think another negative thought. And the negative experiences that I've had are enough to keep me from living anymore and keep me innocent of evil and keep me walking in shrewdness and discernment. So try this frame, this reframe. My mistakes are a messenger. My curiosity was a calling. My flaw was a field that I needed to walk through. It's not a prison. I needed to go to the other side. I needed to go to hell because God tells us that we have to walk through the fire to snatch souls from the fire. So that's what I did. I went into the hell's gate and I walked through hell and I survived, and so did you. And now we're here snatching souls for Jesus. We can go back into the hellfire wearing an impermeable armor that is Jesus Christ, who is our armor. And we can go back into hell and we can face the hellhounds and help those people who are still struggling with narcissism and those who are struggling in their faith. So number 5, live in harmony with yourself. Perfection isn't performance. It's just peace. It's the deep inner stillness that says, I know who I am and I don't need to prove it to anyone, not even myself. I'll tell you, when my marriage was breaking down and I figured out that my ex-husband, I was living in the same house with him on the farmland and he was possessed. I had peace. I wasn't living in fear. I wasn't living in, oh my gosh, God, get me out of this. This is horrible. This is awful. No, I had experience from dealing with demons from using the Ouija board, so I knew what I was up against. And it's like, well, those demons didn't hurt me. Like, they tried, but Jesus saved me, so I'm saved now. Jesus saved me from Sasquatch. I saw Sasquatch. I dealt with it. They were, probably within 20 feet of me, and I didn't even see them or didn't even know. So it's like God saved me. God protected me from all of that. So I can live in the same household with a demon-possessed individual. And how I lived in that household was I kept my distance. I didn't provoke him, interacted with him with the truth. And I made him dinner, treated him as my husband until he wasn't. And, just ignored his freaking problems that he brought to the house. And yeah, things fell off the wall and I rebuked. Things happened supernaturally. I rebuked. And, I carried Jesus with me. And that was peace. That's peace to know that God is with you. And that doesn't leave you. Like, that peace doesn't leave you just because bad things are happening. You carry Jesus with you all the time. So it's like when the narcissist is trying to push your buttons and talk to you and gaslighting you, you can go into your head and have that quiet conversation in your prayer room, as Jesus would call it. Have that conversation in your mind and say, Jesus, is this person trying to provoke me? Do you want me to say something or do you want me to stay silent? And if you want me to say something, speak for me, God. I've done that many times. Going into a situation that is not ideal, God, cover the situation with your peace and give me the words to say. Speak through me, and he does. He'll speak words of wisdom that hey, that didn't come from me. That's God. Yeah, yay, God. Thank you, Jesus. So peace always says, I know who I am. And I don't need to prove it to anyone, not even myself, because you've got this inherent nature within you. You already act in unconditional love. That means you already are unconditional love, which means you are God. You are Jesus. You are married to him. You are one with him. So there's no, oh, I need to find my identity. I've been that way. I've been trying to find my identity, and my identity is found in Christ all along. It's just I had to stop those negative thoughts in order to believe it. So when you stop fighting yourself, the need to chase perfection just evaporates. When you walk in harmony, with your body, mind, and spirit, and remember on this channel, we talk about how your body keeps the score and it's hard to heal if your body doesn't feel safe. So do your exercises to ground your nervous system. That's all you need to do, is just bring it back to breath, bring it back to awareness, bring it back to now. So when you walk in harmony, your body, mind, and spirit, others can no longer manipulate the dual nature within you. And this is something that narcissists will never understand. They perform, but you become. They project, you integrate. They fragment, you unify. Try this practice. Your daily affirmation, make this your daily affirmation. I am whole. I am enough. I am not flawed. I am human and divine. And my breath, my very breath is divine. God walks with me every moment of the day. He doesn't leave me nor forsake me. And do the mirror work, please. I cannot express this enough. Do the mirror work. Look into your eyes every day, every morning, every night, every time you're in a mirror, in front of a mirror, say out loud or say to yourself in your mind, you are perfect because you are you. And say, I see you. I see you. I love you. I love everything about you. You're perfect and you were honestly made. You were made in God's truth, in his honesty. And you're awesome. You're beautiful. You're radiant. So here's where this all aligns with the Bible. You ready? The primary Hebrew word for perfect is tamim, Tamim. And the meaning of tamim is whole, complete, sound, blameless, innocent, having integrity. Job's wife wanted him to lose his integrity and just curse God and die. That's what the enemy is trying to do for us. Have us lose our integrity and curse God so we will die. So tamim, or perfection in Hebrew, does not mean flawless in the modern sense. It doesn't mean perfectionism. Instead, it carries the idea of wholeness, moral integrity, and being undivided, which aligns beautifully with Jesus, as Jesus is love, God is love, the Holy Spirit is love, the Godhead is love, the whole citizenry in heaven is love, and you are love. You're that already. It cannot be separate from you. And that's what the narcissist tried to do, take away your unconditional love. And you may not have used it for yourself, but you definitely engaged in it with the narcissist. So you have it, you are it, now you just have to see it. So Genesis chapter 17 verse 1 says, walk before me in tamim, or in blamelessness, or in wholeness. Here God is speaking to Abraham, not asking for flawlessness, but a heart of integrity and wholeness. Deuteronomy chapter 18 verse 13, you shall be tamim, you shall be whole, you shall be perfect in integrity, flawless, blameless, with the Lord your God. Again, it means wholehearted or fully aligned with God, not perfectionistic, but just be aligned in that unconditional love. That's where flawlessness is. When you're unconditionally loving someone and yourself and the life around you, you're not judging it. That's perfection at its divine core. Psalms chapter 18, verse 30. As for God, his way is perfect, or tamim. The word of the Lord is flawless. This describes God's way as being whole, complete, trustworthy. So here's some related words to the Hebrew word tamim. Shalem, or that's the root word for shalom, which also means whole, complete, to be at peace. Tamayim is the alternate translation for that. So if you go looking for these Hebrew words, that's why I'm sharing this with you. So if you want to do your own research, go ahead. Do your research, look up the Hebraic words for perfection. So when you say you are healed and you don't even know it, in Hebrew, the conceptual thinking is that you are tamim, you are whole, blameless, and complete, not because of what you do, but because of who you are, becoming as who you already are, as God made you whole and perfect and complete. And you're just coming into with your awareness, you're coming into the alignment with the truth that you already are. So to be complete means to be intact. The good abundance and the bad are still there within you, but you walk in harmony with God. You make God your first choice, your first love. God is light, in him there is no darkness. God is good all the time. Be good all the time. It's not based on what our ego determines as being good. Being good means to walk faithfully in unconditional love. Do not judge anything. Did you know that too much of a good thing can actually be a bad thing? So, the narcissist determines that things are good. They determine what is good and what is bad. And narcissists go overboard. And so understand that too much of a good thing, according to the ways of the world, can become a bad thing. And what I mean by that is, well, you can have too much food, you can have too much oxygen, you can have actually too much of God's love when you're not ready for it. See, if God gave you all who he is right now in understanding, if God gave you all the knowledge in the world, what would happen? Well, we see what happened with King Solomon. God gave him an overabundance of knowledge. And if God gave to you all that he is in one fell swoop, you wouldn't be able to handle it. So God then instead gives to you of himself in small doses, according to what you personally are able to handle. So this actually is hidden behind the trauma. When you look at the trauma and reframe it, you will see the light. You will see the truth. You will hold on to the truth. And when you hold on to the truth and keep holding on to the truth and seek the truth, that truth gradually gets bigger and bigger and bigger according to what you can handle. See, let me put it this way. Women can handle a lot of pain, okay? We go through, monthly periods that are painful. And many men, especially the narcissist, says, oh, you're not in that much pain. Well, you guys go watch and have the narcissist go watch YouTube videos of men putting on that period simulator, those electrodes on their tummy. Many of them can't get past stage 1, and there's 10 stages. By stage 3, they're doubled over and saying, stop, I can't handle this. So think of that as God. If God released all his energy of all who he is to us, it would take us out. So God hides himself behind the lies, behind the trauma, so that when we look at the trauma and face the trauma, we're strong and we're courageous, and we work through that trauma and we see the truth, we see the light, and he gives us himself to heal us. But when we taste that God is good, when we see God's goodness on the other side of that pain, we want more. And God's just like, okay, I'll give you a little bit more. You can handle this. It's like he gives to us in baby steps. So the reason why I'm saying this to you is because there's a lot of information in this video today. And it may be a lot for you to take in. Maybe you can't understand any of it. That's okay. Take it in small doses, because this video channel has a lot of depth of information. Like, this is, some of this information is not something you're going to find in other channels. You're going to hear on other channels about what the narcissist does, what they look like, we're past that. We're here to grow ourselves and tap into our divinity. And with that, yeah, we're going to have a depth of knowledge, and we're coming into our understanding of who we are and understand why the world works the way that it does. It's actually for our benefit. So when you look at the trauma and reframe it, you see the light, you see the truth. And this is where God is, because you see the truth and know it. You then become one with God because God is true. See, we tend to separate God into these individual little packets. You know, God's characteristic is true. He's love, he's kindness, he's protection. He's all of those things, and they can't be separated. So when you find the truth, you find God, and the truth will set you free. God sets you free, because God is prepping you for a divine state to live fully and completely in all the truth. That's why we're not in heaven yet, because we can't handle living in all the truth, because we've got to come to our understanding. God doesn't want to overwhelm us. So God is having you go through this in baby steps for a reason. Maybe that's why you haven't fully and completely let go of the narcissist yet. It's not just because your ego can't, but it's because you have work to do in you. You still need to start thinking in proper alignment. So if you want to be set free, God has set you free already, but you have to take the steps to walk away from the narcissist. Stop turning your eyes towards the narcissist and turn your eyes to the Bible. Turn your eyes towards your future. Turn your eyes to the moment of now. So in conclusion, your flaws are your freedom. Your perceived flaws are your freedom, because perfection is not the absence of flaws. It's the absence of judgment. You're not here to be flawless. You're here to walk with grace, courage, and clarity through your dual nature. So don't be afraid of your darkness. Don't be afraid of those perceived flaws. Embrace them, because it's a part of your light. Don't be ashamed of what tried to break you. It made space for your healing. The narcissist was just a character in your life, and they're not your end. They were a doorway that led you to Jesus. They were a part of your story that initiated you into your progress. Don't dismiss that. Everything is for a reason, my friend. I mean, everything. Everything happens to you for a reason. And now you walk through that doorway into the fullness of who you are. Innocent, whole, perfectly you. So that's what I've got for you guys today. There is a story about a bug that's kind of a continuation of this video. If you want to learn about it or read about it, it's in the post section of this video channel. As you know, I'm here for you guys. I'm here. If you guys have questions about this video or any other video, you got questions about your faith, questions about how to heal, questions about anything concerning your trauma and healing, I'm here for you. ShannonGilmore@protonmail.com. If you guys want to set up a one-on-one FaceTime with me, to chat, you can make your appointment. The link is in the description. And we are here 1 o'clock and 10 o'clock Eastern time every day. So this channel does survive with your donations. So thank you for those of you who do donate. Thank you so much. And if you do want to donate, I do take donations through PayPal. And that's how it's done. I don't take crypto. I don't take credit cards at this time, but I do take donations through my Ko-Fi website as well. But PayPal seems to be relatively safe. But I just want to say thank you for your donations. Thank you for your help. Please subscribe. That is help enough. Your likes to this channel, your interaction is thanks enough and support enough. And it's my greatest hope that the biggest amount of support that you can give to me personally is to support yourself. I'm serious. I mean this, that if there is nothing that you do in life, do this one thing. Live your good life for you. And for God, of course, but who you are. I'm speaking to your divine nature, who you are. You cannot be separated from your divine nature. The narcissist tried to do that, and you proved that you can't be separate from your divine nature. So you're going to live for you and make every step living your best life. It's, oh my gosh. I mean, it's so beautiful to see how you yourself are progressing, and you may not see it, but I do, and God does. And so if you can just stop judging yourself, you're way ahead of the game here. You've basically got the game of life beat. And that's what I want for you. So please don't stop growing. Just stop judging. And if you stop judging yourself, your life then becomes complete. I promise. I promise. I promise. I feel it in my bones. So thank you everyone for joining. I'm just going to take a few minutes now to look at the chat, because you guys were talking, and you guys always have beautiful things to say, as you guys are all so supportive of everyone. So yeah, so it looks like you guys are just talking amongst each other. So I'm just going to leave it at that. You know, the narcissist will always see you as an object. That's right, McDonald. Nice to see you. Welcome. Come on in. Yeah. So it looks like you guys are just. Marie says, I feel like you get walked on a lot being empathetic. Yes, you do, but that's the reframe. If you're walking in empathy while being naive to who the narcissist is, then yeah. But if you're walking in the shrewd nature of, okay, I'm going to be who I am, and I can't help but help the narcissist, because you don't want to see them fall, you don't want to see them hurt, right? So you're not looking for anything in return. That's what unconditional love is. You don't even need a thank you, because all you're worried about, you're not even worried, but all you're conscious about, all that really matters is that God sees. The narcissist is blinded to what you've done for them, so it's equivalent to doing things in secret. But if you just go into your situations and helping others anyways, because that's who you are, God helps us anyways. Even when we're ungrateful, he still helps us. So and when we help those people who are ungrateful and who can't see God, well, they need God the most, right? And we know that because we've been there, because they've taken us to that point. They've taken us to their side of hell to live life from the hell side. And we get to see, we have gotten to experience what it's like on the other side. So we've walked in their shoes, basically, and we understand. So now that we're walking in divinity and we're walking from a place of unconditional love, it doesn't matter if they see it or not. All that matters is that God sees, and God is pleased that we are walking in alignment with Him. That's all that matters. Who cares what psychologists think? Who cares what other people think? Who cares what doctors think? Who cares what the narcissist thinks? Who cares what other people, our friends and family think? Oh, you should do that. You should. You know what? No. You got to walk in your truth and you've got to own it. And all that matters is God says we work for Him. And this is doing the Lord's work, not working at a 9-to-5 job at Kmart. I mean, that's what we got to do, but that's not doing the Lord's work. The Lord's work is being unconditionally loving to everyone. That's the Lord's work. And that's who we work for. And when you can stay in alignment with that, you will change and you will rise above, and you're going to be open to God's blessings, and you're not going to be judging yourself or judging others. And that's how we bring down heaven to earth. I mean, heaven is here in our hearts and we reflect that. So that's a very good statement. Thank you for that. So yeah, so I think yeah, so you guys are, I'm just going through your chats here. So Joe, finances are always a burden, but when you start, I'm convinced that when you start walking in unconditional love and just start accepting that your life, our lives are going the way that they need to go, and this too shall pass, you reframe. You guys got to read the bug post that I posted, because it just falls in line with that. When you start looking at things from God's perspective, you can't judge, because even poverty or being in financial situations, those are meant for us, for our betterment. Everything is for our betterment. And you can't walk in the light if you haven't walked in darkness. So you can't be abundant in finances if you don't know what it feels like to walk in a lack of finances, because having a lack of finances allows you to be softened and be empathetic for those who are also walking in a lack of finances, because when God blesses you, you are then able to remember, hey, I remember what it was like to have no food today, or food for 3 days, and I remember what it was like to almost be homeless. I remember what it's like to have car repairs and not having money for that. So yeah, I'm going to give to somebody. They ask me for money. I've got the money to give. I'm going to give it because I've been there too. And you know what? It sure didn't help me any when people were saying, well, what's it in for me? I asked the narcissist for a couple of bucks. Like, I asked my ex for money to take the kids to the mall because they needed some clothes and I wanted to get groceries. He was so paranoid. This was not my husband. This was common law. My first, when I was 18 and I had my 3 children by this man. He was so controlling that I'd ask him for money for the kids and for food and stuff, and he was so paranoid that I was going to run off with his money and find somebody else. He said, well, I'll give you $5 for gas money. I had a Lada hatchback. It was a real good economical car. Like I think nowadays it would be like $20 to fill the tank. So it was a standard. It was, it was good that way. But back then, 20 years ago, or no, 30 years ago, sorry, $5 would get you a lot, right? And I used to go through his pockets when I did his laundry, and I would take out money for food because he would hoard the food or food money. So, but yeah, like I asked him for $5 and I felt judged. Oh, I'm just going to give you money for gas. That's all you get. Well, so I can go window shopping with the kids, I guess. Like it was just a horrible life. When narcissists are horrible, horrible people. And that's not a judgment, that's just the truth, because they're living in hell. Living in hell, as you know, is horrible. And so we live in poverty, and poverty can mean anything to us. A lack of love. Impoverished means just to live in a state of lack. And God said he does not want us to live in a state of lack. He has plans to prosper us, right? Plans not to harm us. So we live in this impoverished state because of our minds. When you can change your impoverished state and become rich in him, rich in good thoughts, rich in good feelings, what is on the inside here in your mind and in your heart reflects outside in your outside life. So yeah, your thoughts do become things. What you sow into this world first begins as a thought, which grabs a hold of your feelings, which when your feelings are evoked, when you start feeling, those panic feelings, that forms a belief, and that is the charge. Belief is the charge that sends those thoughts and feelings out forward, and they gain traction or grow into fruition and bear fruit as they come back to you, bearing the fruit of the seed that you sowed. So some seeds are sown on rocky soil, some seeds are sown in fertile soil. Fertile soil is the energy that you give to your feelings. So yeah, it's about being mindful of what you're thinking, because you change your thoughts, you change your life. So yeah. And for me, finances have been, they're a root in trauma. Finances have been withheld from me right from a kid. So I've learned not to ask, learned not to take, learned not to, expect, So yeah, so this is something that I've been working on in my life, and it's slowly starting to come around. It's not where it needs to be, but each video is a learning lesson for me as I put these lessons into practice. And I'm now forming a belief, a secure belief in myself, to know that I'm good enough, to know that God loves me, and to know that God loves you. And there's no judgment on you, because you know what? I'm not judging myself. Because the thing is, if I judge you, I then have to judge myself, because in God's kingdom, there is no favorites. So we can't be hypocritical. I certainly can't be hypocritical. I don't like being a hypocrite. I've been living the lifestyle of hypocrisy for a long time, and I didn't even know. But if I'm going to judge myself, I have to judge you. And if I'm going to judge you, I have to judge myself. So I'm getting rid of judgments. No judgment. It's all good. It's all good. It's all for our favor. And when you stop judging your life, because your life is a reflection of your inner life going on inside your mind and heart, when you stop judging your life, you actually stop judging yourself. And when you stop judging yourself, okay, I got to start thinking differently. It's okay. This is fine. God will help. When you stop judging yourself, God will help you. Because when you judge yourself, you're actually judging God, because God created you. So I'm going to leave this video on that note. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you. I encourage you guys to just go make your day great. Have a wonderful afternoon. Have a wonderful evening. And I look forward to seeing you back here tonight at 10 o'clock with a new insightful video. Yeah, it's gonna be a good one. Oh, it's awesome. It's about Abraham. Yeah, Abraham and him sacrificing his son. Yeah, there's a lot to say on that about narcissism in our thoughts and all of this. It ties into this video today, actually. So we're going to do a segue. So it's going to be a good one. So I look forward to seeing you then. If you guys want to chat, contact me at shannongilmore@protonmail.com. Resistor is our moderator and loves to resistor, loves to everybody. Thank you all for showing up and, just being a support to everyone here on this chat and listening. I hope this helped you. I know it will. Just take it in baby steps, but you're already healed. It's just you got to step into that divinity because your divine nature is everything and nothing all at once. Your divine nature is that it's happening in the spirit right now. Your divine nature is that it is, as God made it. Like you're in the end point right now. Like in the spirit, you are living your best life. Like right now in the spirit. Your flesh just has to catch up. And how your outside life catches up is to think on good thoughts and believe in yourself and to stop judging. All right? I love you guys. God bless. We'll see you soon. Enjoy your afternoon. Hi, Sophia. See you tonight. God bless. Hi, Joe Mama. See you tonight. God bless. Hi, everyone. See you tonight. God bless. I love you. Bye-bye.